Hello, how are you? Happy Gemini new moon. I'm a Gemini rising. I'm really busy, and yet they're telling me to do this reading. Some of you are searching for peace here, and they're saying it's kind of time to take a deep breath and leap into the next incarnation. We have the grasshopper and the dove. You know, take a minute today to do some intention setting. Can you hear the difference in my voice? I had a pretty intense detoxing yesterday, and I can tell in my voice is different. It's crazy. I feel different too. But you know, a lot of healers are working in fields like gyms, spas, beauty salons, and also, you know, energy medicine and all of that. Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. Yes, those of you on the precipice of this new, that came up while I was shuffling, precipice of this new spiritual breakthrough you're about to have or having, often are, I don't even know what I want to say. It's like overwhelming. Okay, let's take it one thought at a time, Spirit. Thank you. Sometimes these breakthroughs feel a little bit like a breakdown. That's when we need to harness our power. Okay. I know it really seems counterintuitive when I say when you're in those times when you need to receive a lot, that's the time to give. This keeps being a message coming through. Oh, I see you can see my mess over there, but oh well. I'm packing, everybody knows that. Okay, so so you may feel panic, you may feel dread, you may feel a lot of different things. I don't want to put it onto you. Whatever you feel, what Spirit's saying here is that through seeing the bigger picture, they keep bringing me to higher level, a bigger picture. It started last night, and I did post this video on my Instagram. And sometimes it's really hard to get that nebulous of what Spirit is trying to give me into like words that people can understand. And like common everyday language, you know. That's what's coming through here. The things that have happened to you haven't happened for nothing, you know. I don't know, this is a bit of a tricky energy here, but it's like you knowing that you're a spiritual being and knowing your worth, it creates a lot of energy and boundaries around you naturally that are, you know, repellent to things that don't belong in your energy field right now. And that's you stepping up and saying, I know my worth. I'm going to say no to this right now because it's really not worth my time or my energy. It's a hard thing to do, especially if you're in the process of becoming, right? Okay, I'm sure that this reading is going to deal with this more, so we're going to move forward. But the masculine has a be playful energy, which I love. So Spirit is saying, again, I think this has come through 3 times. Be giving. Even if it feels difficult, I feel like this is a message for me. Like, okay, I feel like I'm under the spotlight right now because I have been giving, and sometimes when we give, we have to like acclimate to that new level it's very interesting because you kind of have to do it really before you feel like emotionally ready, and then you got to get the emotion like in the jump, and it serves to like wake up your spirit. So just a beautiful playful energy between you two right now. It probably doesn't feel that way. Move your body to music. Let me put my glasses on. Dance with the rhythm of life. Manifest your dreams through dance. So I did actually dance this morning as I was setting my intentions for the day. I felt called to dance, so I did, and it actually was a really nice release of energy. And then we have compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light within yourself and others. Beautiful. And then we have, oh, I think this is the first time for this out. Possibility. Raise your standards. Elevate. See, it's exactly what they're talking about. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. And then growth. So these are beautiful, beautiful cards. Seek out a mentor, guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from above. Very highly aspected spiritual energy here. What am I doing? Okay. So we do have the full moon on this dance card. And I feel like it is tied into this next cycle here, that we will be seeing a lot of growth and possibilities for expansion from now until the next full moon. So the next full moon will be Capricorn, right? Because we're coming into Cancer season next. Okay. So yeah, generally a difficult area of the chart for most of us. 4-4 transformation, battle of the head and heart. 8-8, one with self, blossoming. 9-9, high priest, personal empowerment. Look at that. The 9 and the 6 again. Beyond illusion, change your perception. They wanted 2 cards there. 11-11, mission accomplished, welcome home. Beautiful card. Okay, so guiding you towards empowerment, right? That expansion of knowing that this journey is happening through you and for you. Battle of the head versus the heart. And then blossoming and change your perception. So I already shuffled. I will shuffle a little bit more. Felt really good with the shuffle, so I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck. Swear to God, did not look at that. Okay. I was like, I ended on that shuffle and I'm like, oh, this feels really good, but we're gonna shuffle again because it'll feel just as good, and it will bring us what we need to know. Judgment, Queen of Swords. That Queen of Swords has been coming out a long time. Queen of Cups with the Lovers. I get a really strong, and I actually just did see a video right before this, really strong message about how powerful our words are right now. 4 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. Spirit, can we have new messages today? Can we have new messages about what's going on? I feel there's been a consistent narrative for a little while here. It kind of has to do with that 5 of Cups, Ace of Cups. Can we have information about what's coming soon and how we can work with these energies of personal empowerment and change of perception? And also Ace of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles. How the masculine is currently feeling about us right now. All right, let's do it. 4 of Wands. I swear, I know, I just knew that card was gonna come out. I kind of feel 5 of Cups energy too. I feel this 5 energy really strongly because there's just a regret. That's not the regret card, but it's feeling like it. Emperor, 10 of Swords. Really interesting. 9 of Wands, death and rebirth. With the Star. So King of Swords, Angel of Strength. I'm getting this mismatch energy here. Look at that. Throat energy. That's what I said, very first thing. Why this financial difficulties here? What's going on with this financial difficulties? Huh. There's a helicopter. This usually doesn't happen. Burgundy, deep violet, purple, pink, indigo. Take it, a sage, new green. He's being guided. I feel like I've had this message before, but there's a guiding here from Spirit to speak with you, and it's making him feel very afraid. All right, so it's interesting. I watched a video and I had several different conversations, but right before this, as I was sitting here, I meditated, I shuffled, and then I had watched the video, I had several conversations, and there's something here that's going on with the masculine that seems to be quite important. Now, we did see Judgment in the shuffle, I think. There's a feeling here of I cannot stay from him. There's a feeling of this energy of I cannot stay in the energy that I've been in. And it doesn't seem to have been to do directly with you. It seems to be that he's, let me get it. It's a weird energy. It's almost running from, but it's not, because it seems driven by an internal knowing that if he stays like he was, the cycle will repeat. There it is. Here is what he's going from. I will tell you, he's very avoidant of talking about exactly what's going on. It's like, there's this, there's this, there's this, there's this, there's this, there's this. It's a very weird reading. It's like he's compartmentalizing things. And the only way he can kind of deal with breaking free of this situation it's kind of like think for some it will be different. I feel like there's some, maybe that's why they had me draw 2 cards up here, because I don't normally do that. I think there are some masculines that are stepping into this high priest personal empowerment, and there are some that are just waking up, because I get kind of 2 different storylines, and I don't really do that. This kind of less awake, this is this narrative of like, I need to create negative attention to basically get healed, or have someone come to my aid and rescue and like help wake me up. This more empowered energy, I feel like they may have actually taken some personal responsibility for the destabilization that occurred, which, for many of us, that has been a very big challenge, that they don't take any responsibility. So whatever this is, however this is occurring for them, you'll probably see some evidence of this. And it's an important kind of step. I don't know a lot about the Bible or anything. I really wasn't raised religiously. I do know that there's something having to do with the trumpet, and obviously Archangel Gabriel here. It's holding, see, if I knew the story, I could kind of make this make sense more. But also, I feel like it was a blessing, because I didn't have to undo all of that like a lot of people did. But they're using this word clarion call. I don't know if it has like biblical implications. I know that it's like a call out where a lot of people can hear it, I believe. It's not a phrase that I use, but that's the word they're using. There's like a clarion call right now. I will take it to use that the message coming through is that they're getting clarity about something really important here. It's kind of waking them up, and they're drawing me to this one with self. It's like, when you wake up, there's so many, stages that you go through, and we repeatedly wake up, right? But we also, there's one that seems to be highlighted for people that's kind of more difficult, is this grief stage where you kind of have a recognition of how you inadvertently hurt people that you didn't mean to, because you were hurt, and also you grieve a lot of things that weren't the way that you wished they were, to, if you've gone through it, you know what I mean. And like, I don't really focus on those, because you're going to go through them, and it scares a lot of people, like letting go of people, letting go of things, grieving, all of these things. It scares a lot of people away, when really it's actually a really beautiful process, right? They're kind of having to face the fact that they made decisions that led them to a place of almost like rock bottom, or really difficult places. And I think they're running from the fact that many of them have hurt people. I know this sounds kind of weird, but remember, most masculines, not all, because I definitely have seen some that have the spiritual basis for things. Most masculines don't have the spiritual basis. They've kind of lived their entire life in the 3D realm. Even if they have like a religious thing in their life, this often is at odds with it. But I do see here there's quite a destabilization that either happened or is happening. These are very destabilizing energies right here. It's almost like, you know, it's crazy that I never saw that movie. I maybe saw it, but I forgot it. The Jim Carrey one where he like lives in the fake universe. And I think he sees like a tear in the tent or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember. But it's kind of what I'm getting here. That it's like quite be seeing through something. Let's see. Attraction. There's a lot of attraction cards here. Deception. Honeymoon. Wedding. These are weird cards. Interesting. Attraction, deception, honeymoon, wedding. Give your relationship a chance. Heart-to-heart conversations. New love. Love yourself first. Separation. Calling your soulmate. It kind of makes sense in terms of like what I'm saying, that he may also be revealing kind of the false mask of, this is like a big meta, big picture thing, like how relationships are supposed to function, right? The paradigm. That may be not something he's willing to uphold any longer. I'll say he feels very attracted to your energy. It's interesting that they had me kind of set this card all the way over here, and then there's this card over here. It feels like there's quite a distance between these attractions, but they're somehow being drawn together. You know, it doesn't make sense. Okay, that's better. So, you know, when you're full and you like are walking down the street of your town and there's like a bakery and you can smell something baking, and there's a restaurant and you can smell food cooking, and there's all these smells and you're just like not attracted to them. But if you're starving, everything smells kind of like the most exquisite thing you've ever smelled, right? That's kind of how this feels. It almost feels like he's been starved of this energy. The energy that's coming through is that when you two talk, or even just are in the presence, whatever it is, however, there's this, it can be telepathic. I think that's what they're getting at. Like his heart feels actually seen and heard, and it was what was frightening to him, though I don't think that he ever said maybe that to you outright. But it hasn't felt that way in a long time. And I think part of what's coming here is that you can hit this rock bottom energy. It's not necessarily about substances, but it's like an I cannot do this anymore energy. And you can hit that by denying the truth of who you are, right? Like, I'm not sure where they're going with this, but when you are being called to like expand, which is what we saw up here, you have to, as I said, I think it was the very first thing that I said, you have to leap, and then you have to do that energy expansion kind of on the way. And it's scary. Sometimes you don't make it all the way the first time. I never expected to feel this way about you. I can feel you pulling away. Have you moved on? I feel the energy in the collective of the feminine here. I think I've been asking about the masculine, but I haven't quite seen it show up yet. I feel so much regret for everything I've said and done. Will you ever forgive me? I miss kissing you. So many songs remind me of you. I know I hurt you. I never intended to. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like that's what they're facing, this part of themselves right now. I pretend I don't care because I care too much. I'm taking responsibility for my mistakes. I try to trust in divine timing. My fear keeps stopping me. I'm not going to take one. I've cried over you. No one makes me feel the way you do. That's what I mean by the heart-to-heart conversations. No one makes me feel like you do is the resonance between the hearts in the heart field. You can't, like, you know, I only have my experience of this journey. And so part of it is like when your heart is doing expansion work, you really can't control that. It's not like you're like, oh, now I can expand. I feel safe and content and everything's going well. Now I can do this expansion work. It's not the way that it works. You know, soul is in control of that. And it's going to happen when it happens, led by your soul, right? And I see that there is starting to be an understanding that some of this is beyond his control. Like, I'm trying to trust in divine timing. I think at one point the masculines used that as like an excuse not to take action and like put the action onto you. But I think many of the feminines are in the process of understanding that they're not going to take that action anymore. They're not going to even energetically move towards the masculine until there's some recognition that the masculines have like grown is the word that's coming. I just get this feeling like the feminine doesn't want to repeat any of this cycle ever. Interesting. A lot of green here. a lot of blue. 2 9s. Oh, we started on the 4 of Wands reversed and we're ending on the 4 of Wands upright. 6 6 9 9. 3 6s in a row. And 2 3s, 2 9s, 3 6s, 2 7s. That's crazy stuff right there. Seek the truth. So seek was the card that fell out. Now we have seek the truth, confront, and spread your wings. This is the energy I'm talking about, where we have to jump and then energetically kind of catch up. It's full energy. I don't know. I feel like regardless, you have wishes coming true here. They come through a lot of self-love. It's so weird. It's so weird the way that it works. Because last night when I was home, I couldn't sleep. And then I did like 6 different videos talking about you're the radiant sun, right? You're the sun. And if things aren't manifesting in your world, it means that there's like cloud cover over your energy. And I can see here, this expansion. The clouds are the illusion of who you are not, right? The clouds are covering a radiance up with illusion. That's just a metaphor. But you guys are waking up to this radiance within you, right? It doesn't mean, I think a lot of people think manifesting means if I'm perfect enough with my mind, my reality will be perfect and I'll never have to deal with problems. That's couldn't be further from the truth in my experience and understanding. It's that what really happens is that you understand that you're the creative spark of source radiating through this vessel, and the soul's basically in control through the subconscious, right? We do have free will. We can choose how we react to things in a higher or lower octave, right? And that we understand that challenges, like the goal of life is not to be per se happy. It is to be understanding that everything happens for your benefit, for your expansion. Now, I would say that is the basic understanding. I think there's a couple levels beyond that. But that's the understanding that's coming through in these cards. That I would say is like level 2 or 3 of waking up. And there's a certain feeling that's coming through these cards. Oh wow, I just looked at the clock and it was 3333. Is that there's a real value in you speaking your truth. It's like they're saying, like, come hell or high water. It's like there is a value of you not always holding back. Now, clearly and obviously, we must apply this with wisdom, right? You can't just always say what you feel at your job to your customer, to your boss. You can't just say it always to someone on the street. There's always these things that we must take into account. Our safety, our security, all of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? The cards aren't saying go live in anarchy because you trust us so much. I don't think that's what this is. But there is a process of learning to trust your intuition that you get more and more self-sufficient and interdependent, where you are having relationships, you are taking care of your own life and your own needs. And then you are having relationships where nothing depends on you being false for your needs being met. So I think that's where they're gently nudging us to go. It's a gentle nudging, right? They're wanting you to nurture your authenticity and your empowerment and your radiance and your ability to speak the truth and your connection to nature. What they usually give me when I'm asking questions like this and they're giving me this type of reading is that they're showing me, the masculine's always behind and you're always leading. So when there's movement, if you're looking backwards or you're looking at your masculine, you're kind of looking in the wrong direction. It's interesting that we have two very opposing cards in two different directions here. And it's kind of telling me this is trying to turn this in the right direction, right? You have to move forward on your ascension path for him to also move forward. And he's at a point, it looks like, where he has some healing to do that hasn't yet started. And it's really important. I say this a lot. I feel like I repeat myself so often, that you understand that this is not the goal of all of this is not union with him, but union with you. And that seems really not relevant. You never release your masculine or move on from your masculine because he's you. Doesn't go anywhere or come anywhere. Does that make sense? I guess they're reminding me of this. Often I have these thoughts that it's like, I don't really know how to put into the world because people just don't think like that. But when you don't see this you as like you, right? You see your larger self, you see your spiritual self, you see it from a higher perspective. You can see that nobody and nothing really belongs to us, and nobody and nothing is really gone or with us. We're all existing here in this earth reality illusion, and yeah, sometimes they're in your reality sphere and sometimes they're not, but they haven't gone anywhere. So there's a point of detachment you can come to. I feel like I came to this a while ago, and so it seems like I'm like, maybe everybody else has to, but maybe you haven't. Maybe it's like you can see, okay, you two are in two separate houses and you're not communicating on the phone or in person right now or on the computer, but you're both still here. You're both having experiences. There's no real meaning. Okay, I see what you're getting at. There's no real meaning. They're asking you to detach from the meaning of, if we're in the same time, space, place together, it means one thing, and if we're separated, it means another thing. It doesn't mean anything, but that coming together naturally happens as your energy frequencies align very closely. Okay. So taking your, the mind machine off of this, because it's the mind that's the fear energy. Fear energy is like, he's not calling me, so he doesn't love me, and he loves somebody else, and that means I'm not the right person, and I'm not the right this, and it's not all of those things. It doesn't really mean any of that. This is like a masterclass. It means you two are having a different experience right now, and your energies aren't that aligned. And that just means that there's, you know, probably at the heart of it means your focus isn't on you enough. And that's like the hardest thing to get over. It's like how much your energy has to be on you, like all the time, so much. And what you need to do and how you need to nurture yourself and the truths that you need to speak. Okay, I think we got it, right? We got it. So you're focusing more on your own love, your own success, your own... It's even moving on from certain things. You have stuff to move on from that you're still kind of holding on to. Because death in reverse has come up twice. And you really need to figure out the truth of yourself. And like, God, I'm like, Jesus, I feel like this is all I've done for years. And there's still more layers to go. And just finding out you aren't the opinions of others. You aren't what people say about you. You aren't your bank account. You aren't your grades. You aren't your possessions. You know, the truth of who you are is none of the things that you really see in the external illusion of reality. However, that being said, they're kind of the only, what's the best word to use? Report card, score sheet of how much and what kind of energy has escaped the cloud cover. So I know I used two different kind of illusion things there, and that's difficult to reconcile. It's like you've had all these things said to you from the people over your whole life about who you are, okay? And this is you, right? This is your radiance. And this is all of these things. These things were all about the people who were saying them. Really nothing to do with you. But you kind of built them up on top of your radiance, your sun, your light. And this is why the truth of who you are isn't reflecting to you in, thank you, Spirit, in the illusion, okay? You've held these things so tight to you, you're actually projecting other people's fears and mixed with your fears into the world. Does that make sense? It's the clearest they've ever put it to me. And all the while, the truth of like who you are remains this perfection of this. Goosebumps. It's overwhelming sometimes, the energy. There's such truth of who you are. It doesn't need justification to anyone. There's such power in who you are. The truth of who you are is 100% powerful. And remember, power is a very high frequency. It's in self-love, right? So we have to get there to use our own self-love as power. A lot of people get there, get in the power dynamic by having a love of something external, a love of money, a love of politics, a love of business, a love of whatever, exploitation. You can love anything and you can basically siphon its power for your own. It's always at a cost of degrading your true self. I hope that makes sense. That's the first time I've had that question for years, and that's their answer. I'm finally ready to receive that information, is that to be a truly powerful individual means you're operating from self-love, because someone in self-love would never treat another human being as if they were separate, because we understand the connection between all people is source, right? We're all source energy. We're all the one love. We're all the one energy. I hope that makes sense. I hope I did that justice. I was like, I'm too busy to do this reading, and they're like, you need to do this reading right now. Okay, do the reading. Here's the reading. Okay, so let's get a little bit of advice and not make this too long. For those of you that needed that information, I truly hope that helped. I truly hope that I did it justice. It's like so much, it's like hurting my brain. It's really intense energy. But just know, like, I feel like many of you will have some movement and see some source, like some changes in your masculine. It's not important, honestly. I mean, the less you look at them, the better. Cycles and rhythms, endings and beginnings, inner goddess, sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place. Connect with the divine. Look at all those candles. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. The old must be released so the new can enter. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. Yes, now is a beautiful time for you to take maybe we have the dove again, some peace, some time for peace, healing, and tending to your inner and your outer self, however that is for you. Holy Amethyst again, Diana, Moira, very interesting. Awakening Presence, and look at that, beautiful. Lady Portia. Move beyond the current challenges. Focus on what you desire. So bigger picture. Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. I feel like a lot of you are on the edge of a precipice where you're expecting things to go really badly, but you've got to figure out, what does that leap mean for you? And how can it apply to your situation? Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. And then major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar, right? What do we do when we leap? We soar through the air. Do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. So yeah, it is really tough sometimes to get beyond all the fear of the mind and ego, which has its purpose. It's not bad. But to get to the heart and to feel the presence of the inner child and the soul. Whoop, look at that. I had one fall out. Letting go. Kyanite blue. And to really, that crescent moon and that radiance. Teacher, compassion, self-love, Mother Earth, healthy body, animals, fairy stone, fertility, and learning. So if you want any of these to come into your experience, call them in, ask them to work with you. I love that emerald energy. This is such heart chakra energy. And then along with the kunzite, which is this pink stone. It never shows up very pink, but it actually is quite pink. I just love the frequency of this stone. Okay, what else do we need? Dragons. And, you know, that compassion is every single time I've done this lately, there has been one card. We'll just take it. Green Tara. Supreme protection. So Mother Earth really working with us. Animals really working with us. A lot of kinship between the natural world and us. It says cords are being cut. Move beyond limitations and trust. You are protected. Lilac fire dragon. Earth and air dragon. Kuan Yin's pink dragon. And then the black dragon from Saturn. Many of us are learning difficult spiritual lessons. It's often those of us with Pisces placements where Saturn is right now. We are really being challenged in a lot of ways. Lilac fire dragon transmutes to the power of divine love. Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. Earth and air dragon represents a perfect balance between heaven and earth, or head and heart, right? Stay balanced, ground your visions, and manifest your hopes and dreams. Kuan Yin's pink dragon brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. See your cords being dissolved by transcendent love. Enjoy freedom and look for the divine around you. So 2 cards of cord cutting. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is being available to you. Follow it with faith. Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed at this very moment. New beginning. New adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. And then we begin and end with playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together. And remember, love is the greatest healer. So I hope these messages have served you. I'm going to do a couple more readings. They are available on my Etsy. I'm going to try to get them done before I move. I know there's a couple of people waiting, and then they'll be shut down for a little while. So if you want one, go on my Etsy and grab it now. All right, bye.